coming to understand about practicing the willpower and stuff is really just so when you lay down at night, when you can rest, because you know you did your work, and you look in the mirror, you're like, I am who I'm supposed to be. But the ancestors are just telling me to tell you, to remind you that what awaits you is so much bigger than what you ever thought it could be. Just hold on, because this is your purpose. Your gift is your purpose in life. You're supposed to be doing it. And if you don't do it, if you don't accomplish it this lifetime, you're gonna have to come back again and do it again.
This is my message to you. Your energy is infinite. Your energy.
Yeah, I'm back in Brooklyn after 5 years of being gone. This city, my career really took off in this city as a creative and really in my creative flow, an entrepreneur. Brooklyn still feel like Brooklyn.
Some blocks.
Some blocks, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me put it like this. New York still feel like New York. I'll put it like that. Maybe Brooklyn don't feel like Brooklyn. I'm sure shit shifted, but there's still like an energy here. Mm-hmm. It may not be the same one, but it's like, there's something about this place where I'm like, yeah, it still got that thing. But yeah, so you were starting a church place. So the woman said God spoke to her and was like, start the church, start a music segment.
Yeah, start a ministry, not necessarily a church band, but like she just does specific events where it's just straight up for ministry.
Okay.
Was praise and worship. So you know how they schedule their church out. Sometimes it'd be like just 15 minutes of praise and worship.
Yeah.
Whereas now the whole event, yeah, of course, you know, the pastor will usher things in or whatever, or will say some words or whatever. But really the focus is just the music and the singing and things like that, and let people just, you know, catch the Holy Ghost and the Spirit, things like that.
Yeah, but you said something very particular. Well, maybe I got to record this. So you said, why do people need consistent healing? Why people still healing at how'd you put it?
You know, the way I said it was really, really good.
Yeah.
But if I can recall it the best I can, was just like, I was sitting there watching them do the altar call or whatever, and I asked myself, why do people still need consistently,
all right,
like healing, yeah, I'm not saying that the way I put my finger on it before, but yeah, why do people need it, like, and so real talk, man, I don't know if people are ready to hear this, but
keep it 100, we just rapping.
Honestly, I think it's a level of, if you're gonna be real about it, there's a level of illnesses that just still exist in the community, and they're in various different parts of our diaspora, Caribbean diaspora, you know, on the actual continent of Africa diaspora.
Yep.
Of course, our urban diaspora here in New York City and whatnot. But I said to myself, because I'm watching people come up, and like I've seen the different, you know, body types or whatever, and the different illnesses. One kid was in a wheelchair, and I said to myself, damn, like why are people why are we so messed up, like physically, you know, even in just appearance or even just mentally? And I thought to myself, it's still the effects of slavery, like, you know, how they did the buck break and then they make it in men mate with like their mothers and their sisters and whatever, and so all the genes pools is messed up. So that's why people got, you know, whether it's mental illness but also then they talk about, but then that's another conversation too, because like how mental illnesses are in some ways kind of like, I don't want to say a power, but in some ways like if a person got a gift where they able to interact with the world differently or whatever. But the point is, to this point, is like there's still those aspects of we're still dealing with the slavery. We're still dealing with that.
Yeah, I really be thinking that sometimes, and even when we thinking about like mental health, politics, anything, I'm like, oh, we can't record for water, right?
Yeah.
I've been thinking lately, like, yo, this is just whole ass after effects. You feel me? Like, even I think about people like, yo, Kamala, Trump. I'm like, but you can't talk about what America gonna do if you don't start where America started from. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think with mental health, yeah. With politics, yeah, that's your water right here, just for you. I'm gonna take this one right here.
Oh shit, I don't really know, man. I can't hold you. Oh shit.
You gotta fuck with this water?
Nah, I gotta break it down again.
Oh, shit. Tell me about it.
Let me tell you. So we not gonna show the label, but you know what it is when you see the blue bottle, the blue top, and that's that reverse osmosis. That's that company that said, you know what, I know what we're gonna do. Instead of going to the lake like Poland Spring or whatever, we're gonna go to the water treatment plant. So we're gonna buy their water, and then we're gonna treat it or whatever, or take it somewhere, or even just buy it straight there, right there. And then it's basically just I'm not.
It's like tap water with infused.
Nah, dog. I'm trying to say. It's shit water, bro.
Oh, that's deep. What?
Where they getting this water from? You feel me? You ever ask yourself that?
Yeah.
You know I'm a thinker, so
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah. How's it?
New York. Yeah, New York is dying. I tried to find another way to say it, or tried to find another word, but the first thing that came to my mind was dying. And I thought to myself, there's no other way to put it.
Why you're not the first person I heard say that though? So why you feel that way? What's going on that make? Cause you from New York. You know I pulled up in New York when I was 26. You feel me? So my life didn't start here. You feel me? I came in with Renew Lots as the first. Well, really, Broadway Junction in the school I worked at, Rhodes Charter School, which is like it was a bunch of cats from Brownsville and East New York in that school. So that was my first like true lived experience. I was here with Steve's family for a bit. Like we would be out Long Island, come to Brooklyn sometimes. But so my experience, I could see what changed from that till now in the time I was here. But you got years of seeing it. So like, and when you say it's dying, I would have to say, when was it living for you? You feel me?
It was living when we were doing what we were doing. When I met you, and we were, you know, the part that I reflect on the most, that I have to just learn how to just not be mad at myself for, was like, I was so busy just running around, being concerned with being free and enjoying myself and enjoying the substances of life and whatnot, that I was unaware or wasn't practicing, like, or nor was I had the knowledge yet to understand that I'm building my foundation, and all this energy that I've used to be spent building that foundation.
That's deep, bro. That's deep. And I think it's deep because right now, when I hear people say, I'm just being free, I'm like, free to do what? Because freedom means all options can possibly exist for you. And you could do what you want. But sometimes doing what you want ain't doing what you need or what you're supposed to be doing. And doing what you want sometimes can take you down. And now the beautiful alignment pieces of doing what you want and doing what you're supposed to do line up. Then you like, and just, you in the stars with that one. But
Yeah.
you could do what you want to and then not be doing what you're supposed to and call it being free. And I think the lack of understanding that every moment is a building block for the next moment. And I'm just doing whatever, YOLO. It's like, okay, then what's the consequences for like, or the output for a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from here?
Yeah.
Wait, but do you feel like, I mean, in hindsight, 2020, yeah, you like, I was just concerned and maybe overly consumed with some things. But to me, you still have a good foundation. You may want to be some other places, but energetically speaking to you, looking at you, feeling you. Now, when you came to Cali last time, I could tell like some things were off. You know what I mean? Just, you was on tour though, so I'm like, that's kind of an interesting dynamic to even being when you're on tour, just being free. You feel me? Like, but
You know, speak on that briefly, is that, I even noticed that myself. And it's a mixture of, first I gotta take responsibility. I'm not.
the lock is popping, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you taking care of your shit. That's fire. Now, hey man, if my hair wasn't going bald, bro, I would have kept my locks forever, bro. Like,
Still think about you. You had a lot.
I had a lock of everything. I would have kept them joints for like, I did out here like down to the ankles. You feel me? Or I probably cut them eventually, but anyway, go ahead. I'm just chopping it.
On the tour experience.
Yeah.
So I can't blame nobody for nothing.
Okay.
And it's not about that. But what I do know for sure, what I experienced, like, for example, perfect example. I met Paul and I was like, yo, Paul, I'm coming to your house. I wanted to record whatever.
Okay, you just
I did not want to do a session for nobody else. And then I wound up changing what I wanted to do for the opportunity that presented itself. And I thought it was a good opportunity, and I thought, this is great. This doesn't happen every day, let's give it a shot. And literally all the energy that could have went to whatever magic that me and Paul could have did.
Yeah, it's been somewhere else.
Went somewhere else, and then it didn't get used, or not even that it didn't get used. It needed more work.
Need more work.
And so I was experiencing, there's like, I'm an overthinker sort of, but I'm not even gonna give that too much credit. It's just more so of I want this, but I reason with myself and allow other things to pull myself, and that's what I experienced that, and I
experienced that too a lot.
Yeah,
I experienced that too a lot. I think that's why that's like, maybe it's the human condition, but I definitely do that a lot. Where I'm like, I got a vision for something, but an opportunity that may feel like it achieves an immediate need presents itself, and I'm like, I know, I be feeling shit deep in the spirit where I'm like, I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but then it'd be like, but this is gonna give me what I need right now, and I'll be next thing that you spend 2-3 months, days, hours doing this, and you look up a year from now, you forgot, not even a year sometimes, like a couple months, 2 weeks, and you ain't make no progress on where you know you was supposed to be.
dog.
I be doing that too.
You gonna make me flip this table right now, cause the real truth is about, what I'm coming to understand about practicing the willpower and stuff, and it's really just so when you lay down at night, when you can rest, because you did your work, and you did, and you look in the mirror, you're like, I am who I'm supposed to be, and I chose the right choices. Like I had this. Oh, this is funny. This is a funny story.
Wait, can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
The willpower and doing what you're supposed to do and choosing the right things is so you can rest.
So you can actually rest. That's why you can't sleep sometimes. That's why niggas be.
Because you ain't accomplished your mission and you know it.
My godmother said to me the other night.
Oh my God.
Just last night, actually.
Oh my gosh.
She said, because I told her, first of all, to preface it, she's my godmother for a reason.
Okay.
I don't just pass that. I'm not just like passing around, but and her being my godmother and my mother, their relationship, they've been knowing each other for basically since before me and my godbrother were born. So when me and my godbrother have known each other since like that, so we tight.
Oh,
so
you're tight.
Sometimes he said shit to me that he wasn't even trying to say, and I'd be like, yo, how did you know that?
Yeah, got you.
Anyways, so I walked through. I hadn't seen her in a while, and just like how I have conversations with you, my general MO in life is to seek out my counsel. You know what I'm saying?
Too. So I gotta get better to seek out counsel.
Yeah. So I walked through the door. She was folding clothes and stuff, and they was cooking, and Nana was in the kitchen cooking and things like that, whatever. It's a family visiting, and she goes, so how are you? Quasi, because that's like my middle name is always call me Quasi. And so I said, well, I just did this. She was like, how did I wind up coming out that day? And I was like, well, I did this exam for the state troopers, the New York State troopers, and then I finished it, and it was, I would normally go busk and play some music in the Central Park, but my amp is broken right now. So I said, I just want to see my godbrother today and just, relax and whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. And then moments later, she was like, she pulled up a little stool, sat down real close to me, and only made sure she was only talking to me. And she said, hey, I felt this on your spirit. The ancestors are talking to me right now, but I feel it in your spirit. You're being pulled in two different directions. You have this thing, and it's like, but the ancestors are telling me to tell you, to remind you that what awaits you is so much bigger than what you ever thought it could be. And she's like, she's basically was just saying, just hold on, because while yes, there's the pressures of life, and this is America, and we have expectations for ourselves, but she's like, this is your purpose. What your gift is your purpose in life. You're supposed to be doing it. And if you don't do it, if you don't accomplish it this lifetime, you're gonna have to come back again
and do it again.
And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Nah, especially when you're already in the game. I don't want to start over.
Not even just that part, but I had that perception before nobody told me that. I knew that. I realized that, like, yo, like, I've been here a couple times, and I'm not looking. I don't want to come back.
Yeah, I've had that same exact understanding too. I'm like, I really want to learn my lesson this time around.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I've learned my lesson. I really want to accomplish my purpose in this life this time around. Cause I feel it too. I feel it too. I'll be like, man, this ain't my first rodeo on this plane. Like, I know, I find even the way I jumped into this life where things click for me almost instantly, it's like I've done it before. And it's like, but you didn't take it far enough. You know what I mean? You didn't follow through with it all the way. I could feel it. So I'm like determined on this plane. So I hear you. Oh man, I hear you.
Yeah. And so
How'd that make you feel when she told you that? And was it true?
it was absolutely true, because the reality is, for me, like, I understand. I have the understanding now that what I'm dealing with, what I know that many people deal with, what we all deal with, we're dealing with the soul cycles of our parents. So like my father, he's, I don't know what his dreams were necessarily, but I know that he basically is somebody who fell into just working constantly and just doing labor jobs and just doing that and self-sacrificing to make sure that, family, sister, brothers, are taken care of, because he's the oldest. So I know that part of what I struggle with is that same thing, that self-sacrificing, because I know I got to do this so I can provide for myself and so I can provide for others and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And I know that leads me down a certain employment type of path line. Whereas the spirit that's living in me is an entrepreneurial spirit.
But you think about what I need right now, so you're not giving the energy to the time it takes to build what the entrepreneurial spirit is telling you you're supposed to be doing, and you're going for, like, I know I get a 2-week check right now.
And as long as not only as long as those pressures grow, but also as something else I want to say. When I say pressures, I mean like the worldly pressures, inflation or whatever. But also as dang, it's just left my mind. But yeah, so I still got like my right now I'm having a realization that, like, yo, I could have had what I wanted 10 times over if I just focused and really just did it, linked in, like, ideas for whether it was just t-shirts or whatever, anything.
Yeah.
I finally realized now, like, with building a business, it takes time. You got to plant the seeds, and then it's gonna take a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually seeing the seed now finally start to come up, bud, just a little bit from a seed I planted early this year in January.
Instead of like starting over and never fully watering that one seed, now you may have something that may have sprouted and failed.
I realized the major difference between, because I had met this gentleman and it stimulated thought, and now the thought has bloomed. He said he was honest, he was Asian dude. He was like, yo, man, you can tell me, like, yo, like, what are some impressions you have with just like really doing your music? Like, is it like being Black in America? And I was like, well, that is part of it, but I didn't lean into it that much. But now it's developed into where the reality is, what I realize is that we're just like trees and stuff. We're just like nature. Us specifically, carbon beings.
Yes.
But also in a way where our mission in life is we're not here building on top of what was already built. We don't got the slavery money. We don't got, you know what I'm saying? We don't got that. That's not us.
I understand. That's true.
And so for our mission to be complete in life, we have to do just like the trees do. You got to start out, and then it's gonna get wider or whatever.
Yeah.
My point is, I finally realized that you have to, like, it's that foundation. The foundation, build it, and it will come. To be concise, to try to be concise, and that's what our journeys are. And some of us submit to, the thing is just working for somebody else because it's easy and it's so-called security. But we all need to do that to build it, and it will come, because that's the only way we can build a community. The only way we can actually maintain a community. And so many other things.
No, that's real, because it's like you gotta. I hear you. That's the hard part about the perceptually hard part about build it before it comes, build it and it will come, is that you don't see the result first. You have to, like, put the work in first. I think, like, for me, putting the work in sometimes especially if you put it out and you're building it and you expect somebody to come right away, or the masses to come right away, that expectation can lead to a emotional crack or emotional weight that then makes the building seem heavy, because you're like, I put something out and it didn't do what I thought it would do. Like, now the emotions of disappointment are on you. It's like, man, faith is such a real word, where I be thinking about, like, lately on the spirit flow, I've been thinking about the simple shit about spirit. Like, all right, we know spiritual principles, ideas, and knowledge. Well, lately I've been working on transforming them for myself and the homies on like, but just what's the functional action behind it? You feel me? Like, even faith. You know, I'm like, okay, you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. Like, then what is it? Like, what's the action of faith? Okay, cool. I get the philosophy, but build it before it comes. Believe, do it before you're ready. All those embody faith. You feel me? When I think about like,
We just answered your question.
what was it?
Doing it.
Doing it. Yeah, that is the faith when you're
Doing it, you're practicing it.
You're practicing when you're doing it.
When you don't practice it, that's your saying, I don't believe it's not gonna.
Yeah, when you're literally not doing it.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have the faith. The faith is actually doing it. Because all these things are actionable things. Like, it's doing it. Because I think, man, I don't bullshit you at all when I tell you one of the greatest guitarists I've ever heard. Your instrument is guitar, but I think your gift is sound. You feel me? I think that's just like, to put it more specific. 'Cause I believe your guitar is how you enter the world of music, but it's something about the way you understand energy that allows for you to manipulate, process, play with, maneuver sound in a very specific way that I think most folks who do music don't take the time to understand spirit at a certain level that gives them a freedom in music. Like, I think you can understand music theory, but you may not understand yourself to be able to apply your energy through the theory. You know, the theory is a filter for how to express your energy through music.
Absolutely.
So when I hear your music, I'll be like, yo, it's like it's starting from the back end and then it's being processed through an instrument. It's so epic. You feel me?
Damn.
It's epic. It's really epic. That's why when you and Jim play together, I'm always like, yo, this be some of the coldest shit I ever heard. Like, when y'all two in the lab and y'all making music and you doing your thing. And like, sometimes when we were on the road and we were in Miami, I remember one time I got irritated with you when you were playing. And I was like, yo, Joe, why aren't you playing? Because you was like tip-tattling, like being cautious on the guitar. I'm like, hey, what is going on?
But that was a reflection of the spirit. Yeah. See, exactly.
I'm like, I know what this. I've seen it happen too many times. Like, what is going on? But I knew, I'm like, oh, he must be in his head. Like, he must be thinking about the moment and not experiencing the moment, or like, I feel like you were behind the 8 ball a little bit, like you were watching and then thinking and acting. And that's different from seeing and acting, or being one and making action. You know what I mean? That's how you think present. And I was like, oh man, I was like, that is the spiritual, emotional, mental maturing that Joe has at this moment. That's why I realized it. That's why I got unirritated. I was like, oh, this is his growth moment. Now you know, as his homie, as his friend, as his brother, where his growth area is. Because he can't fully express himself right now with something you've seen him fully express himself with 1,000 times. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So I think that, you know, I really believe all these gifts we have, on the back end of them, they're to grow us spiritually so we can have a full life.
Boy, you need to say that again.
Yeah, the gifts
we have.
Yeah, they're to grow us spiritually. That's why it's like, oh, I think that's when I say, like, we're talking earlier about something about like people not being able to do or getting caught up, or I forgot what we said, but what I'm thinking about now, I'm gonna take a pause. I want to hold on to it because there's something here. Like, to grow spiritually is the goal. To grow in your oneness with the Most High, to understand that you are the Most High in human form, to be able to then functionalize that into like, if the Creator created me, I'm a creative being, then what can I create? My thoughts, my ideas, my beliefs, my habits, my world, my interaction with people, my responses, all that good stuff. And when we have the hiccups, it's not for us to weigh the present moment down or the remembering down, but it's like to show us where we have growth areas in.
Every experience is a good experience.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now I know what I got to do next time, or where I shrink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm in that moment again. I'm gonna try to do whatever I think expanding is in this moment. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh man, I fucked up now. It's wait. Now you done made like a scar on the memory of it. So when you experience again, now you're like cowering because you're thinking about. I think that's what anxiety people, the epidemic of anxiety that is like taking over, particularly my generation and down. The older heads, they don't call it anxiety, and I think them not naming it also gives them space not to harp on it. Where they like, I'm going to do something, but let me keep going. Where like I notice our generation and lower, my generation and lower, our homies and our people are like crippled by it. I think everybody experiences this moment of thinking in the future and being like, oh, I'm worried, but there's like a crippling of effect now where I'm like, what's missing? I think it's that spiritual understanding that like the worry of the future can be counteracted with the understanding that like this is for me to grow and not for me to be stopped by this moment.
It's willpower and community effort that's missing.
Community, I hear the will part, tell me what community effort, what you mean by
The
that?
effort is like, okay, a bunch of brothers get together because we got to build a canoe to feed the fucking village.
Yeah.
We all came together, pulled our strength together and said, now we have a canoe. All right. Then we start getting efficient.
Yep.
Right? But whereas you on your own doing push-ups and applying your shit to your own life, building your willpower, but every battle you face is by yourself.
Oof.
So you never get the it's the same way you practice, the same way I said that doing it is the practice of faith is the same way that doing it amongst each other with the community will build your sense of, I can accomplish this, we can accomplish it, it can be done. And I personally feel like that was a moment where I experienced where I had a moment where I sat down and I realized like, wait a minute, oh shit, I'm this whole dead wilding thing, this, this building this business, running the studio, whatever it is, I realized I was overwhelmed. I was like, yo, all of this is on me. I gotta make all these decisions. I gotta call everybody. I gotta make the money. I gotta fund it. And like, it took me a long time.
Yeah.
I'm still working out of that.
Yeah.
In fact, right now I'm still behaving in my work pattern where I'm still working out of that to like, because it's very it was stifling. It's
stifling to carry by yourself.
Yeah. So that shit literally found myself in a moment of inactivity.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And then drinking more and stuff like that. Numbing the shit.
Do you think the oh man.
What if we did it, if we had more community space and like actual, that's why we need to build our, that's why I said, that's the one thing that all the other people in the world, they go work for people because that's already in their community.
Yeah.
We need our own advertisement agencies. We need our own channels in the airwaves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that gives us the space and not to do it by ourselves. And that was what was happening when you said when we were doing East New York, Tunnel Vision, Renew Lots, Brownsville, Bed-Stuy, the Brooklyns and the Black art community building together, having a space to build together. Damn, because we were really accomplishing a lot of our dreams, and it was because we was together. So it was not like you had to be the one to fund it, the one to manage it, the one to operate it, the one to think about the ideas. It was like we spent so much time together. And particularly we spent nights. Nights were like the creative thinking hours.
Yeah.
And we were like, yo, I got this idea. And the next dude like, yo, I got a speaker. My homie got a studio. I got time tomorrow. And the next thing you know, everything you would need to do for that project was literally at the table. And he was like, what we doing it tomorrow? Next week? All right, let's do it next week. And shit was like,
Yeah.
You said community power?
Willpower and community effort.
Community effort.
Because we practice our willpower like by ourselves. Yeah, we're doing stuff, taking care of our bodies or whatever, and that builds our willpower, and that's necessary. But furthermore, we'll build the willpower of getting it done and knowing that we can get it done, but also it actually getting done is the community interaction and building it together. Like I said, the example like building a canoe, because people need to be fed. Men would come together, put their strength together, and then build it, and now we work it. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's exhausting, doing it by yourself, man.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
I'm experiencing that now where like, we've built something really big now. Tunnel Vision has always been big to me, and what we've done has always been big on impact. But financially, a financial vehicle and a business, we built that. and I'm still holding on to a lot of the strings, and now it's definitely halting the growth. It's like halting the growth where now it can become problematic. You know what I mean? So I'm at this space now where I'm like, oh, I have to. And I find this trip to the East Coast to me was remembering community effort, because I went to Howard homecoming, math community. I'm back in Brooklyn with the brothers and the sisters in the environment where like I really became somebody who understood the power of community and how to leverage and push it to make big goals come true that included everybody's goals. You feel me? And now I'm back and I'm like, in Cali, I went to Cali, pandemic happened. I needed a little bit of isolation too. My brothers passed away, like a lot of shit happened. So I was like more isolated for sure. You know what I mean? I have family around, stuff like that, but my existence became a little more isolated than what I was doing out here. And I was able to focus and get some things done, but I think what's missing is now the community effort. You know what I mean? I think this trip has reminded me, like this conversation reminded me, like, yo, you did it with your willpower, but now now the will of others is needed. You know what I mean?
I was can equally relate to where like I know like I just got this job at FedEx, and long story short, I know that this being that's in me that's matured, and how I'm talking to people and they're talking back to me, and I know I'm gonna excel at that shit, but I know that I'm gonna get to a point eventually where I'm gonna get to a management position, and now the challenge will just be like my workload, but my challenge now will be motivating others.
Yeah.
And I was talking with one of the training managers about how I was like, really, literally, I've been having a hard time suffering fools gladly, bro. So I've had
Say it again.
suffering fools gladly.
You're having a hard
I've-
time
hard time-
suffering fools gladly, yes.
Yeah, man. Like
What you mean by that? Before you go to your story.
to suffer fools gladly means to it means to like on one way, not letting somebody's level of ignorance or idiocracy or just their level of being, like, 'cause that's what they are. That's their vehicle that they're driving. Not letting them that take you off of your focus. And in some ways, it also means like having the ability to just kind of smile and be like,
Yeah, everybody.
you're there.
Yeah,
That's
you-
okay.
Yeah. When I meet those moments, I always say to myself, I be getting irritated sometimes when I meet a moment where I may see the answer, but somebody may not. Sometimes I'm like, but I'm like, you know, everybody growing. Let me just chill, cause I got my moments too.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
So let me just check the time real quick.
Yeah, do you think?
Cool, that's cool. We got
What time are you?
1 o'clock.
Okay, I gotta get to Steve's house soon anyway.
So
We're wrapping this thing.
man, I'm not gonna lie, I can sit here and talk for a minute. I just wanted to
I
make sure
know.
because I gotta bring this car back.
Yeah, I know. We can do this all day. And we got tomorrow. We gonna be talking. We got the homies over. But I think we hit some pivotal moment. But you were talking about you're now going into a place where you'll be in leadership and you have to motivate people.
And I know that's gonna be the challenge, because what happens is when you're in leadership, if the person doesn't do it, or if you motivate them incorrectly, or if they don't, you gotta do it. You have to do their work. Period.
You gotta get it done.
So then
And the kid is like not doing their job.
yeah. So the hard part for me is like literally that type of job is literally gonna be where if this person doesn't do it, or if I say something to the person the wrong way, I literally now have to break my back even more to get it done. And so I'm like, okay, that's gonna be really crucial. And I know that that's where I'm at in my stage of evolving as a man, is learning how to set boundaries for myself, healthy boundaries for myself, and still practice loving someone, accepting someone, and potentially even interacting with them. Because recently I had a situation where to best explain it in a way where one of my bros was like, yo, what's up? We going outside, we doing this thing. And I basically said to him like, yo, you need to do it yourself. Here's what you need. You need this and you need this. Go do it. You can do that, I promise you're gonna be good. And really I said that because I'm like, on one hand, it's like, you gotta prove to, not me, but you gotta prove to yourself that you even want it by going out and doing it yourself, bro. Facing whatever adversity you gotta face. Then we can work together and our force can be stronger. But now if you're just coming to me and only working with me and only working off of my stuff and my timing or whatever, or if you're even late or impacting my time and whatever, now it's like, now I'm suffering. And I'm like, I refuse to suffer because of somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Like allow him to grow into his strength and his power. Then he got to go through some adversity to get those skills. So when y'all come together, you don't have to fill those gaps. You could run free. He could run free. Collectively, y'all could be moving.
and then we can make more.
You can make more.
Then we can make more. So he basically, for lack of a better term, this does not know how to communicate.
Okay.
You know, and for me, it was more of a arm's length thing because I'm just like, my mind is like this right now. I don't need a complainer.
Yeah.
I don't need none of that. I don't even want to be around it. You know what I'm saying? So but I knew at that moment as it was happening, this is a test for me because I know that as an evolved man, you learn how to not just motivate others, but you know that you need other people.
Yeah, you can't.
You know that you need other people.
Yeah, you can't. So it's like in this moment, even where he's irritating you to a degree, with almost like his need at this point, like it's like, yo, it's beautiful that you're like, I can't like dog him, like, cause that's still somebody who I'm in interdependence with to some degree. You feel me? Like, I need to get shit done. That's interesting.
Yeah, and like so, it was funny because on the state trooper exam, it was saying shit like, asking me questions like, do you believe that in order to be successful, you have to manipulate people? And it would ask shit like, is it wrong to manipulate people? And shit like that. And you had to just choose yes or no, you know? And so I just found it interesting how like leadership, to be honest, it involves you do have to manipulate people. You got to make them think that they can do something that they probably can't do. But the object is, I think,
you know, and when you play that, manipulation is not always bad because you can manipulate somebody to their greatness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So somebody wants to, the whole one of the characteristics of Scorpio was persuasiveness or some shit like that, or some. And it's funny because I've always had an attitude towards it where when somebody tells me they don't want to do something, I'm like, I'm not gonna play with you, dog. I'm not that person. But I realize now that that's something I need to turn to a strength.
Yeah, it's a strength. Yeah, you don't want to do it. Cause I think it's the part where you are too. I think this is the full circle moment here. You're in a place where you are figuring out how to execute your visions, aka figuring out how to motivate yourself to completing things. And now you're
stay motivated.
And stay motivated. And now, and motivated and disciplined, right? Cause they kind of play. They kind of play. And now you're in a place where you're like, oh, I have to do the same with others. So I think as you further figure out your motivation system and your discipline system and your organization system that keeps you in alignment with your goals until they're completed, then you're gonna really have the tools has to do it for others. You know what I mean? Because now you're like, oh, why wasn't? I think you're figuring these things out now. Why was I not able to do this thing? And once you know the why not, then you can inject the solution. Like, oh, because if I felt like this, oh, I needed to feel like that. So now when you see it in somebody else and they're like, dependent on you in a place where they shouldn't be dependent on you for, like your homeboy was saying, the example for your homeboy. Now you can ask the question like, why does somebody like that even get to the point where they feel like they need me for things that they need to figure out on their own? And now what is the missing belief or the missing idea that needs to be put on him to make him realize he got it? You know what I mean? And like, and then the next thing is like, how do I communicate that in a way where it empowers him to feel like, oh yeah, I could do that on my own. You got it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That was the part that bothered me was like, I gave you the tools. I literally said, here, take this, now just go here. And dude, you're gonna be fine. And like, of course, the next part of that for him is doing it. But I struggle with doing it too.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, but now how do I communicate that? Or how do I, what can I inject into you that I didn't have myself that I'm still figuring out? So that's exactly what it is. I'm still figuring out. You know, what exactly.
And you get double, the cool thing with him as coming to you like that, you get double practice. Because you know that somebody is in your community, you want to say community where you like, I gotta figure out how to communicate a missing deficit to him. You know what I mean? Like, cause I think what you said is like, I gave you the tools, you're here, you need to be here, I dropped the tools on you here. but there's still this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is belief. This is identity. This is insecurity.
Yeah.
This is impeding thoughts from other people about what my abilities were and were not.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like everybody got with the phone, everybody got the idea, the tools to be a millionaire or at least 100,000 there or live your life great now. But it's like, oh shit, what's this middle part? And the middle part be the internal world. It be the shit you can't see. You know what I mean? That's why I think like welfare and affirmative action, anything that helps people, you give to people and then you be like, damn, but you didn't get here. What happened? It's like, it wasn't the physical thing that was missing, ever. It was like, it was always this blank space. Cause the physical shit come when you realize that you need it. I needed a rental car and there was rental car places, you feel me? The physical shit is always there, but at the first,
it's always there.
And the feather came, so the spirit ancestors is like, yeah, I'm here.
Ideology is a motherfucker, man.
Ideology is a motherfucker.
That's what the war we're fighting, bro.
That's the war we fighting. It's the ideology.
It's always been that. It's always been what you can't touch.
It's ideologies, and then I think the biggest fight is the identity piece too.
Yeah. Identity and ideology.
Identity, ideology, the IDs. All right, let's wrap this up. Hey, Joe, thank you. I respect you a lot, man. Like you are, were you like 10 years younger than me?
Yeah, I think
exactly 10. Exactly 10, but it to me, it's never felt that way. You know what I mean? Sometimes I see young nigga shit from you, but I be like, you know, but that's how it be. You feel me? But generally speaking, majority speaking, continuously speaking, I've always felt like we've been equals. That's why I love having you in my space. So thank you, bro. Thank you for doing the podcast, Living Good with Dom. Yo, peace, bro. And I'm excited. I think in this convo, you, if you didn't hear yourself say it, I'll repeat it back to you. You said something about your music and knowing that your music was gonna get you everything you were trying to get with these jobs. You know what I mean? So I know there's a balance to be stricken, but I think that it's not so much a balance for you. I think it's just a continuation of what you already done, stringing it all together. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes continuing consistently doesn't mean frequently. Consistency and frequency aren't the same thing. Sometimes it could be consistently, but the frequency doesn't have to be a close beat frequency. Your frequency of being constant can be, I'm just gonna drop something every quarter. I'm gonna make sure I drop something once a year. You know what I mean? So like, with your music, I know you dropped your single that we put on the Instagram today. That shit was popping. I'm so glad. I was looking at the song like, this is fucking perfect. You feel me? It's just a consistency. So it don't have to be something that I gotta attack it full time and do it all and it's the only thing I'm doing right now. It could be, all right, listen, I'm gonna commit to every 6 weeks dropping a song.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm on right now, definitely. Like keeping my promise to myself is to drop music regularly. Like that's why I put out my beat tape that I recently did. And that's why
we put a beat tape?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Let Him Cook.
All right, so we're gonna put the link for Let It Cook somewhere so y'all can find it. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, all right.
Let Him Cook Volume 1. Let Him Cook. Yeah. And it's funny because when I was naming it, so I had mastered all the tracks on this on the thing, on the DistroKid, whatever. And then I was like, oh damn, I don't know what I'm gonna call this. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah. Let Him Cook.
Yeah.
Because the way that the tracks go, the titles of the names was the first one is called Had to Do It. The second one is like the third track is called Make It, and the fourth track is Heron and Therein. So
you got 4 tracks on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to tap into that one.
Yeah.
If you cool with it, maybe we could use one of the tracks for the outro to this.
Absolutely. Got it right now.
All right, brother. Much respect. Okay. I'm glad you got tomorrow off too, or you free tomorrow. I'm gonna be in the Bronx for a little bit, and then
How could the folks be civilized when nobody writing nothing down? And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. They found out that there were whole tribes of people in plain sight running around with no clothes on.